Ladies and gentlemen, you're joining us here on XWF Aftershock. We got a wild card match to open the show with John Burroughs making his way down to the ring. Who is he going to be against in this wild card match? We do not know yet. I'm sure as hell we're going to find out. You know, I love a bit of John Burroughs. You know, he's a brawler in all ways of speech. You know, he uses his fists as a weapon and he uses his fists to speak. Who's he going to be going up against? That's the magic of the wild card match. Let's get the show on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, during the credits there, Junction was making his way down to the ring. We are opening Aftershock here tonight with a wild card match of Junction versus John Burroughs. You know, two very different styles. John Burroughs is all about brawling. Junction is he's agility, he's grappling techniques. You know, this guy is really rising up through the ranks of the XWF. If you look back when we first started, he came in, you know, as Damage's younger brother. A lot of people they weren't buying into him. They always thought that he'd be the underdog. But you know, you can say what you want, but Junction has risen through the ranks, and he's one of the fastest growing guys here in the XWF. You know, this guy has wins over the likes of Johnny Kamikaze, Nightmare. You know, he's got some great wins up his sleeve, and he's had some great matches against other guys. You know, he's not necessarily won, but he's put out there, and he's done his best shot. You know, he had a match against Lord Lore somewhere around 23 or 24 Shockwave. I can't remember, but it was a great match. John Burroughs for the cover. 1, 2, no, a kick out there by Junction. Not enough to keep him down, but this is what you don't want to do, is let John Burroughs get in. He goes for an elbow, but Junction reverses it with a knee to the ribs. Irish whip off the ropes. Look at Junction. John Burroughs jumps onto him. He anticipated the attack. Luthez pressing punches to the face. John Burroughs' offense so vicious, so brutal. 1, 2, and a kick out on 2 there by Junction. Not enough to keep the guy down, but Burroughs just throwing these fists. Look at him. Just throw. Just punch. This is Burroughs. He's like a freaking boxer in the ring. His fists are so powerful, but Junction reverses it with an STO there, nullifying the effort of John Burroughs, and Junction twists the arm. Look at this, holding the boot in the face. Beautiful high kick there from Junction. John Burroughs didn't see it. Junction, German suplex with a bridge into a cover. That is 1. That is 2. That is 3. No, John Burroughs kicks out on 2.7. Junction with a nice shoulder block there, knocking John Burroughs down. Now a side headlock, European uppercut there from Junction. Trying to brawl against John Burroughs. Not the brightest thing to do, but you know, Junction knew when to stop, and now he's taking the offense into his own hands. Onto the second rope with a European uppercut off the top rope, knocking John Burroughs clean off his feet. Junction for the cover, could be over. 1, 2. And a kick out on 2.2 there by John Burroughs. Not enough to keep him down, but Junction's staying on the attack. He ends a Guri, beautifully executed. The momentum, knocking Burroughs off his feet. A neck snapper there from Junction. Junction taking control of this match. Inferno just jumped over the audience barrier. He's looking up at Junction, and Junction's seen him. Look at these two men staring daggers into each other's eyes. You know, so much animosity between these two over the last couple of shows, and you can really see these two men have got a passion of hate for each other. Oh wait, Junction, turn around. Oh my god, a massive glass door punch there from John Burroughs for the cover. 1, 2, 3. John Burroughs beat Junction. What a win for John Burroughs, possibly the biggest win of his career, and it's all because of Inferno. It's all because of Inferno distracted Junction. Junction was in complete control of this match. But John Burroughs got lucky. John Burroughs is going to take the win. He's got no reason not to win on his count, But Junction is definitely not going to be happy with Inferno about that. I can tell you that much. Nice way to open the show. Ken Tariff going into the owner's office. And he says, "Hey there, owner." The owner says, "Ken Tariff, how's it going? I didn't realize you were here tonight on Aftershock." And Ken Tariff says, "Well, I know I'm not scheduled to be here, but I thought that I'd come down, with my wrestling gear and see if there was somewhere on the card that I could squeeze into." And the owner says, "Tariff, you want a match tonight? I will make it happen. There's always room for you. There's always room for a random hardcore match on the card." And Ken Tariff says, "I appreciate that, owner. Who will I be against?" And the owner says, "Tsunami. He's been wanting action, so he's going to be your opponent tonight." And Ken Tariff says, "Nice one. Should be a good match. I'll go and get ready." Right, if I was Ken Tariff, I'd definitely be pooing myself right now. That's Tsunami is a vicious competitor, and we know that he's on the warpath at the moment. But tonight we are going to see Tsunami versus Ken Tariff in a hardcore match. I'm looking forward to it. If I'm not going to lie, Ken Tariff, he can go all out. Ken Tariff's a great hardcore wrestler. And I've also just heard in my earpiece that Havok is going to speak here tonight. So I don't know what Havok's going to get to say, but I'm looking forward to it. And Junction backstage, and he says, "Inferno, I have had enough of your crap. For no reason, you have a problem with me, and it's come to par now. It's come too far. Well, we're going to end this, and we're going to end it at Meltdown, because I'm challenging you to a match, one-on-one, no interruptions, no cheap shots. Just me versus you, one winner. And you're going to find out that you chose the wrong person to mess with." Junction just put out a challenge here tonight. He's just challenged Inferno at our next pay-per-view Meltdown. Will Inferno accept the challenge? Whoa, we've hit it in our earpiece. Inferno's accepting it. At Meltdown, we are going to see Inferno versus Junction. I think that'll be a great match. Two young rising stars with everything to prove. Going to just go all out. They hate each other. So, ladies and gentlemen, while we were backstage, the Rebel was making his way down to the ring. We got a second wild card match. The reason being, I just heard from the owner, is that he anticipated the first wild card match to be a bit longer. And, I think it would have been a longer match if Inferno hadn't have cost Junction the match. So, obviously, there's a bit of spare time on the card, so we're going for another wild card, the second one of the night. And the Rebel is the first wild card competitor, and he is going against Dave Crater, ladies and gentlemen. Dave Crater, absolutely hot at the moment. So many fans behind him. So many fans were hoping that he could win the Internet Championship from Tobias Upson a few shows back when he was a number one contender. But unfortunately, it was a great match, don't get me wrong. Dave Crater just fell short. Tobias Upson retained the title. Obviously, we know Tobias Upson is heading towards 10 defend. And Dave Crater was just a stepping stone there, which he managed to overcome. Dave Crater, like I say, is very hot at the moment. He's been putting on great matches left, right, and center. He won the gauntlet to become the number one contender for the Internet Champion. And obviously, he had a great match against Upson, but he fell short. And tonight he's in a wall-call match with a drop kick. Oh my God, the momentum knocked Grebel right off his feet. A clothesline there from Dave Crater. Oh man, this is not looking good for the Grebel. Irish whip off the ropes. What Dave Crater got him toss. Oh my God, Dave Crater, Dave Crater, Dave Crater, Dave Crater, Dave Crater, Dave Crater. Look at this smack there from Dave Crater, elbow shot from Dave Crater, Dave Crater, Dave Crater. I loved it. Dave Crater picking Grebel up to his feet. What is Dave Crater gonna do? Irish whip into the corner. Dave Crater runs in as a Gurry. Oh my God, Dave Crater. The Grebel trying to get up to his feet. Look at this. The Grebel pushes Dave Crater back. The Grebel runs in. Dave Crater, Crater Maker. The Grebel just ran straight into a Crater Maker from Dave Crater. And now Dave Crater is turning the Grebel up to his feet. Oh, this is not looking good. Crater kick. Crater kick in the side of the head from Dave Crater for the cover of 1, 2, 3. Dave Crater is victorious here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on Aftershock. That is a very quick wild card match, but Dave Crater proving why he is hot on the cards at the moment. And I hope that somewhere down the line he does get another shot at the Internet Championship. Wait a minute. The Fosher just walked down. Fosher goes to punch Dave Crater. Dave Crater kicks over. Dave Crater kick. Oh my God, he just took the Fosher out as well. The fans behind Dave Crater cheering for him, just taking out both members of T-Unit. Foster obviously not happy that the Grebel lost, and he came down, threw a punch at Dave Crater, and Dave Crater hit him with a Crater kick. Ladies and gentlemen, good things await Dave Crater. Good things await him. We're going backstage now. Dave Crater's walked backstage into Yashi, and Yashi said, "Dave, you just had a stellar showing out there. How you feeling?" And Dave Prater says, I'm feeling fine. I went out there tonight and I took care of business. But wild card matches aren't what's on my mind. What is on my mind is that internet championship. You know, Dave Prater, he was so close. And he says, last week, I challenged Upson for the title. It was a great match. A great match which Upson came out on top of. You know, Upson, I've got respect for him. He's a great competitor. He proved that last week in the ring. But I want that internet championship, and I am not going to stop coming for it. So Upson, whether you're still the champion or if somebody else takes it off of you, I'm going to be coming for that belt. And Dave Prater leaves, you know, very, very confident he wants that internet championship. Something that has evaded him for so long. Damage pushing the dog backstage, and he says, we need to talk, dog. You know, what does Damage want to talk to the dog about? And the dog said, what's your problem, man? Why'd you push me? And Damage says, what's my problem? Oh, it's just that last week you offered to fight me for Luke Moynes, and I'm pissed off. And trust me, people don't mess with me when I'm pissed off. You know, after Big D's antics last week, he's on my hit list as it is. And he's going to get what's coming to him. But first, I'm dealing with you. Damage says, you want to fight me? You want to offer to fight me? Well, how's this? Me and you one-on-one tonight, and I will put you in your place. Look at that. And Damage just looks him up and down, and he leaves. The dog didn't even barely fit a word in sideways. But the challenge is there. You know, is the dog going to accept it? That is the question. Wait, whoa. Hearing in my earpiece, the dog has said he wants the match. It's happening tonight. Damage is going to take on the dog, ladies and gentlemen. You know, fair play to the dog. He's out of his depth, but he's gonna fight for his pride. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got an entrance hidden down. Steve the Serpent Connor's music is playing. He's making his way down to the ring. What's he got in mind? What has he got in mind? You know, Steve Connor, as far as I know, he's not scheduled for tonight. You know, I'm looking at the card. There's no match featuring Steve Connor. He's coming down. You know what he could be doing? He could be challenging for the Internet Championship. You know the rule on Aftershock. If you get the microphone and call out the Internet Champion, they have to fight you on Aftershock. That is the Aftershock rule. The Internet Championship was originally created for Aftershock with the Aftershock rule by the owner. So, you know, Steve Connor's coming. He's crying. He's crying. The guy's freaking crying. You know, what the hell is that about? I thought he'd be challenging for the Internet Championship, but he looks very physically upset in the ring. I'm not quite sure what this is about. He's asking for a microphone. Steve Connor, he's got one. And Steve Connor says, I've been in this business for a long, long time. Every single night of my life in this industry, I have given it all. That's fair, I agree. And Steve Connor says, now for a long time, I have had a nagging secret, and it's time to let you guys in on it. I have a spinal injury. I've known it for a long time, and I've ignored it. What the hell? And he says, that is why, since I've been here in the XWF, I have wrestled so little. Now, unfortunately for me, during last week's match, I landed wrongly. I landed badly. It was my fault, but I felt a sharp pain in my back. I felt something move. What the hell, man? And Steve Connor says, I went to the XWF physio, and he confirmed my worries. I was sent to see a specialist, and the specialist told me that I have severe spinal issues, and he said that I should cut wrestling forever, you know, from now. He told me for my own personal safety that I should never step in the wrestling ring again for another match. Now, going home with that, you know, stuck in my head, that thought in my head, I knew that I had to make a decision. And that decision is that my career in the XWF ends here tonight. What the hell? No. Steve Connor says, but before I leave this ring, before I leave this industry, this life, I want one more match. Now, I've sat and I've thought long and hard about this final match. I've been thinking about it all week. It's been running through my head. And for all time's sake, I thought, you know, Mike Jacobs, let's do it. We've wrestled each other all over the country, all over the world. And then I thought, no, my student, Dave Prater, master versus student scenario. But I fought Prater all the time, many times, all over the world. You know, so I'm going to shout out to the XWF locker room tonight. And I'm going to ask for someone, anyone, to come out here and give me the match of my life, a fitting end to my career. And between us, We will give all these XWF fans something to remember. So anyone out there, let's do this right now. What the hell, man? I can't believe this. Steve, whoa, 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 whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, the XWF World Heavyweight Champion, Luke Moynes, is coming out here on Aftershock. And he says, Steve, I'm really sorry to hear what you've just told the XWF fans. I grew up watching you. You're undoubtedly a veteran, not just to the XWF, but to the industry. You know, Luke Moynes showing his respects here. And he says, this unexpected news means a loss to the entire industry. So as an XWF champion, as the ambassador of this company, I want to put this title on the line for your final match. And I want to do it tonight in the main event, and we will together send your career out with a bang. Oh my God, this is massive. And Steve Carter says, Luke Moynes, that means a lot to me. Thank you to all the XWF fans, all the wrestling fans, and Luke Moynes, I will see you in the main event. And Luke Moynes, he's leaving. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm as shocked as the fans are. Steve Connor, it's his final match. He's crying. The guy's freaking crying, man. Oh my God. That's really upsetting for me, you know. I've watched Steve Connor many years, and I'm finding that quite hard to swallow. Alright, so let's look at tonight's card. Havok is going to speak. We've got the no-holds-barred match between Tsunami and Ken Tariff. We've got Damage versus the Dog. You know, the Dog has got to put his pride on the line against a guy that is, quite frankly, the #1 contender. You know, he's one of the best in the company at the moment. And then we've got Steve Connor's final match in the main event for the World Heavyweight Championship against Luke Moynes. What a card, ladies and gentlemen, for Aftershock. And now Havok is making his way down to the ring. You know, he said he wanted to speak. He said he had business. So, I guess we're going to listen to see what he says. And, you know, the fans booing him out of the building. You know, Havok has never been one of the most popular guys on the card. Never. Never, never, never. But, you know, you can say what you want and people will disagree with me. I still think Havok is one of the most promising guys on the roster. And you can boo me, you can say no, you can heckle me, you can do whatever you want. But Havok has risen through the ranks. If you look at the start of the XWF to where he is now, he has been putting on consistently good matches. He's got the microphone and he says, Aftershock. There's a rule which some people seem to have forgotten about. And that rule is the Aftershock rule. If someone stands in this very ring like I am, gets a microphone in their hand like I have done right now, and says, Internet Champion, I challenge you to put your title on the line, then they have to accept. They have to accept. So Tobias Upson, why don't you get your ass down to this ring right now, because I got bad news for you, boy. I am taking that Internet title. Tobias Upson going straight for the challenge. You know, he's accepting it. He's got to accept it. But his music's playing. Upson's coming down. Look at him. He's pumped. He is pumped. Great title defenses over the last few weeks from Tobias Upson. A very impressive win over Dave Crater. And he is coming down. The fans 100% behind the kid. You know, underdog story of the XWF. Absolutely, undoubtedly, absolutely, undoubtedly. And Tobias Upson, look, he's ready, he's focused, and he's got the Internet Championship in his hand, still around his waist. He knows if he is to defeat Havok tonight, it's another win. It's another win towards his 10 defend record. We're already going to have a massive upset in the form of Havok taking that title from Tobias Upson here tonight on Aftershock. You know, both wrestlers are great. Havok's very unpredictable in the ring. The Bolt of Lightning, a special move that can come out of nowhere and can end a match in an instant. The Chaos Clutch, a submission which can make you tap out before you even know it's locked in. The pain is so vicious. If Havok was to get that move in, I would fear for Tobias Upson's title reign. But ladies and gentlemen, the show is on the road. Havok with a kick to the abdomen, side headlock, goes for a knee, an elbow even, and Havok gets kneed in the stomach by Tobias Upson as a reversal. And they switch roles there. Upson went for an elbow, Havok hit him with a knee to the chest. Tobias Upson reversal, Havok, look, these two guys, they got some wrestling skills on them, but Havok wins, slips under for a waistlock from Havok, throws the arm of Tobias Upson over his head, spinning backdrop there. Great force from Havok. You know, do not underestimate this guy. I know a lot of the fans underestimate him. Look at this, look at this. Tenacious. He picks him up, drops him face first onto the top rope. Havok looking very focused here tonight. Punches and elbows into Upson, knocks him into the corner. Goes to grab him, but Upson double feet himself out of the corner. Elbow shot to the back of the head, clothesline, knocking Havok off his feet. Nice move from Upson. Runs in on another one. Havok didn't see it coming, but he goes down to the ground. Tobias Upson picks him up, throws him into the corner. What's he got in mind? Drags him out of the corner. Tobias Upson onto the second rope. Tobias Upson, European uppercut. Oh my God, almost took the head off of Havok. Tobias Upson taking control of the match. Elbow shot to the back of the head there. Look at this. Irish whip bouncing Havok off the rope. Leapfrog over the top. Leapfrog over the top again. Havok off the rope. Spinning an elbow into the jaw there from Tobias Upson, knocking Havok clean off his feet. Side headlock from Upson. European uppercut. Havok dizzy, dazed, confused. Waist lock from Tobias Upson. Beautifully placed backdrop there. Beautifully placed, beautifully executed from Tobias Upson. Irish whip, off the ropes goes Havok, and Tobias Upson goes to grab him, but Havok reversed it into a neckbreaker drop, and this is Havok's chance to get back in control with a vicious drop kick there. So much force, so much momentum, knocked Upson off his feet, and a clothesline in the corner there from Havok. This is his chance to turn the tables, to turn the hands on the clock to his time of day. Off the ropes, look at this, a Manhattan drop there, and runs in and another neckbreaker drop. Tobias Upson feeling the effects of that for the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out on 2 there by Tobias Upson. He is not dropping the Internet Championship at this exact moment. Maybe later in the match, but not at this exact time. Fist to the face there from Havok. Throws Tobias Upson down with vicious force. Second rope leg drop there, right across the throat and the head of Tobias Upson. You can see him holding his head from the pain for the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out on 2 again by Tobias Upson. The heart and soul of this kid is irrefutable and undeniable. Elbow drop there to the kidney there from Havok, taking control of the match. Irish whip reverses it and draws him in with an elbow to the jaw. Picks him up. Tobias Upson, clothesline, firing back, is digging deep, clothesline again, off the rope. Spin around, crescent moon kick there on the side of the head, knocking Havok down. The fans on their feet for Upson. Acid trip in the center of the ring. We could retain. 1, 2, 3, and Tobias Upson, he was so close. Havok kicked out on 2.9. 2.9 from the acid trip. The fans thought Tobias Upson had this in the bag, but Upson picks Havok up. Clothesline from Havok. He's fighting back, another clothesline. Upson's up to his feet. Havok goes to grab him. Upson down. He caught Havok by surprise. As Havok was going to do a face buster. 1, 2, 3. Tobias Upson retains the Internet Championship here tonight on Aftershock, ladies and gentlemen. A great move there. 10 defense status, 8 defends. 8 defends for Tobias Upson, 2 more, and he can cash the Internet Championship in for a World Heavyweight title shot. Great match there. Havok put it out. But Tobias Upson, you know, he showed his true colors and showed that he is an Internet champion and a fighter. We're in the owner's office here now. And Nightmare here in Aftershock. And he says, "Owner, I have a bone to pick." And the owner says, "Nightmare, now get it off your chest, whatever you want." And Nightmare says, "Okay, I will. A-Bomb and Mike Jacobs, they crossed the line last week. I want one of them at Meltdown. Hell, maybe I'll have both of them. I don't care. I want them. Either way, one of them is getting their ass kicked." And the owner says, okay, calm down. Look, I saw what happened last week, and I agree it was uncalled for. So here's what we're going to do. Right here, right now, I'm going to make a match for Meltdown." And Nightmare says, "Okay, good, I'm interested." And the owner says, "A-Bomb and Mike Jacobs versus you and Dr. Karn. How does that sound?" And Nightmare says, "You got yourself a deal, owner." And he leaves. Oh my God. A pay-per-view. This is a heavy hitter of a match, ladies and gentlemen. Did not see this coming. A tag team match. Nightmare and Dr. Karn, 2 rivals for years, will work as a tag team at Meltdown to face Mike Jacobs and A-Bomb, 2 of the most dominated men in the XWF. When they collide, it is going to be an incredible match, and I cannot wait for it. Meltdown shaping up nicely. That match and Inferno versus Junction, man, we got matches on our hands. We're moving on now to our advertised hardcore match. Ken Tariff making his way down to the ring. You know, the fans, I see a couple of Ken Tariff signs in there. You know, this guy's a legacy hardcore wrestler. Some of the spots that I've seen, some of the moves that I've seen done, and, you know, I think this guy has probably taken more punishment in hardcore wrestling than any other man on the roster. Arguably, Damage and Matt King, not taking anything away from them two. Arguably, they could be the man that take the most spots as well. But, Damage, Ken Tariff, and Matt King, three names synonymous with hardcore wrestling through their indie years, and I've got a lot of respect for all of them. And I'm looking forward to this match, actually. Ken Tariff, he can go hard, he can go fast. Tsunami is a man that has a hunger for that no-holds-barred championship. He has been coming out, showing his face, staring down Big D, staring down the no-holds-barred champion. And he doesn't speak. Tsunami doesn't have to speak, but we all know, and Big D knows, that what Tsunami wants is that no-holds-barred championship that is around Big D's waist. He doesn't have to say anything. You just know. So, ladies and gentlemen, if Tsunami was to beat Ken Tariff here tonight, then, that's just another peg knocked over for Tsunami to keep stepping up towards Big D, to keep stepping up and take that no-holds-barred title match that he wants so much. Or, if Ken Tariff is to win tonight, then maybe it puts Ken Tariff back in the number one contendership for the no-holds-barred champion. We'll see what happens, but I don't count Ken Tariff off. He's a great wrestler. He's a great wrestler. He went for a kick, and Tsunami just clotheslined him with force. Tsunami, oh my God, he just kicked Ken Tariff in the chest, knocking him over. My God, Irish whip. Throws him in the headbutt. Oh my holy God. Tsunami, oh, headbutt again. My God. Tsunami is a machine, man. Once this guy gets going, I just don't know what you can do. Look at these shoulder blocks. It's like a freaking car driving into you. Tsunami gets thrown into the corner by Ken Tariff. Ken Tariff throwing punches. He's fighting back. Well, this guy's got no fear. Tsunami double kicks his way out, Feeble attempt from Ken Tariff and a massive scoop slam with force. Tsunami picks him up. Side headlock from Tsunami. Look at this. Again, a scoop slam like he weighs freaking nothing, and he picks him up again. Side headlock from Tsunami. No, not again. 3 scoop slams in a row. Vicious for the cover. 1, 2, 3. No, a kick out on 2.5 there. Viciously closed. Ken Tariff's holding his back from the force. Tsunami's a powerhouse. Throws him over. Ken Tariff holding on. Ken Tariff pushes him back. Forearm smash. He is fighting back. Goes onto the top rope. Ken Tariff over Castle. He takes the big man down. But Tsunami's got up to his feet. Ken Tariff flying lariat with his arm. Gets up in a clothesline again. Flying lariat style. He runs into Ken Tariff. Oh my God, he just got thrown over. Capture suplex. Nothing stuns this guy. 1, 2. And a kick out on 2 by Ken Tariff. Explain to me, is this guy freaking human? He did 2 flying lariats on him at full pelt, all his body weight, and Tsunami just got up and capture suplexed him. Tsunami's got a freaking chair. Ken Tariff runs in, drop kick in the face of Tsunami, takes the big man down. This is your chance, Tariff. Get a weapon. Jumps up, elbow drop into the chest cavity of Tsunami. And Ken Tariff fighting with all the force. He's got an elbow drop again. He's got the chair. Goes to hit him. Tsunami rips it out of his hands. Tsunami, oh my God, he just smashed him over the face with that chair and threw it down on him. Vicious, this guy is raving. He's raving. Oh no, look at this. Scoop slam onto the chair. Oh my God. There is no mercy from this guy. What we saw him do to Matt King. Look at this. A chair shot to the ribs. No. DDT onto the chair. Oh my God. Enough to concuss a human being. Enough to break the skull of a human being. 1, 2, it's over. 3, no, Ken Tariff showing resiliency, showing heart and soul, showing that this guy is not going to go down unless you kill the freaking guy. Tsunami's going out the ring to find another weapon. Ken Tariff, you should have just stayed down, man. We know that you got a passion. We know that you will fight till the end. But you just got to look out for your own health, your own well-being. Because this guy he's a machine. He's setting the table up in the corner. This is not looking good for Ken Tariff. Irish whip into the corner. What has Tsunami got in mind? What has he got in mind? Look at this. Going for the Irish whip. Oh, Ken Tariff, backflip over Tsunami. I love this. Off the rope, Tsunami goes for a clothesline. Tariff under the arm. Runs an elbow drop. He takes the big man down. He takes the monster down. He takes the machine down. He takes the inhuman machine down. He takes the immovable object down. Kick to the stomach. Ken Tariff, forward flip, kick to the side of the head. Ken Tariff, swings around, kick to the head, and he takes the man down. He takes Tsunami down. Ken Tariff fighting for his life. 1. What the No, Tsunami kicked out on one. What is Kentaro thinking? What is his heart of hearts saying when a man kicks out of one after you hit him with that much offense? Tsunami moving, just, oh my god, a shoulder blocking. Kentaro winded from the force of that. Oh man, what has Tsunami got in mind? What has he got in mind? He's picking Kentaro up. No. Look at him looking at the crowd in their feet. Tsunami, powerbomb, he throws him through that table. Oh my god. Oh my god. Kentaro's freaking dead. 1, 2, 3, it's over. Tsunami gets the victory here on Aftershock. Great hardcore match. Kentaro went all out. You can't say he didn't. You can't say he didn't have good offense. You can't say he didn't put his best there. But the best is not good enough when a 7'1" machine powerbombs you through a freaking table with the force of a megaton. Tsunami is victorious here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It puts him in line as still more for the No Holds Barred Championship as he leaves the arena. Kentaro, I got a lot of respect for the guy. He put on a good fight. Undoubtedly. And the fans are definitely behind him. It's a fair play to Taro, but Tsunami, it continues to be a machine. The owner here, and the owner says, "Hello, XWF fans. I hope you're enjoying the show so far." Now, I've had a few tweets asking me, where has Cut Your Teeth gone? Now, long story short, there was a few difficulties, and unfortunately, I had to pull the plug on tonight's Cut Your Teeth challenge. However, I do have an announcement. I have signed a deal which will allow unsigned indie wrestlers who would like to wrestle, show off their skills and abilities, to come to the XWF and demonstrate and sell themselves to you guys. So hopefully, to make up for tonight's lack of Cut Your Teeth challenge, you will get the chance to see some new faces in coming weeks, not just on Aftershock, on Tremors, and on Shockwave. Thanks for your time. Enjoy the rest of the show. Big announcement there from the owner. Very exciting stuff to do with indie wrestlers coming to the XWF. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the Dog's music is playing. So he's going to be making his way down to the ring. He's going to be facing off tonight against the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship, which is incredible. He's going to be facing Damage, a guy that's very well respected on the roster, has fought and beaten some of the best guys. And the Dog, well, look, I'm going to be honest with you, the Dog is a great guy, he's a nice guy, and I'm not going to say he's a bad wrestler, but his win ratio in the XWF is not that great. That's not to say he hasn't put on good matches, not to say that he hasn't got a lot of heart and soul, but, the truth is in the pudding. The Dog's win-loss ratio is not great here in the XWF, and he's never been a top caliber guy in the XWF. He's never had a win over someone, big and respected, the likes of Dr. Khan, Nightmare, Luke Moynes, Damage, Johnny Kamikaze, them sort of level guys. He's never had a victory over that sort of guy. So for him to now face Damage tonight here on Aftershock, I would not put a lot of credit, I would not put a lot of chance in for the Dog, and now Damage is making his way down to the ring. Damage very pissed off backstage earlier, pushed the Dog, sort of threatened him, and said, "You wanted to offer to fight me last week on Shockwave, well, let me tell you something now, I'm going to fight you tonight on Aftershock." So Damage versus the Dog. I don't think anyone is expecting the Dog to walk out of this the winner, but I think we're all hoping that the Dog walks out of this still breathing. Now on Twitter, we did have a guy from Fat Luchador tweet Damage and say, "Does Matt King have a place in the XWF?" Damage replied and said, "I hate to say it, but to be fair, Matt King does have a place." That adds fire and adds fuel to the fire that Matt King and Damage had a bit of a tiff backstage last show. I wasn't there, I've heard about it, whether it was rumor or truth, I don't know. Either way, let's get this show on the road. Damage versus the Dog, and then ends a going to the side of the head. Oh my god. Damage, look at the anger in Damage. This is the anger of Damage. Backstage, he said to the Dog, "You want to fight me? You fight me." And now Damage is just taking the fight to the Dog, punching him into the corner, climbing onto the second rope. Look at these punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's just holding it up. He's just holding up 10, and oh my god, what a shot. The dog just falls over, collapses. Damage picks him up, drives a knee into the side of his head. Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, Damage absolutely on fire, absolutely anger, fire in his eyes, and a knee, kitchen sink style to the dog. Irish whip, draws him in at another knee. Oh my god, this is the dog to the slaughter, man. This is the dog to the slaughter, and I feel sorry for the guy. European uppercut from Damage. You know, Doc, come on, you gotta fight him. You gotta get something back against this guy, or he's just gonna steamroll you. Bounces the dog off the rope. Damage, you his friends, just punching the hell out of the dog. Oh my god, this is just bad, man. I feel bad for the dog. It's over. That's one. That's two. That's three. The dog kicked out. The fans clapping. The fans on their feet for the dog. He kicked out. Damage kicked him in the ribs. Oh my god. He went for a brainbuster, but he kicked out. Spin around elbow there from the dog. The dog firing back with everything he's got. Elbow shot to the back of the head. He avoided the finishing maneuver from Damage. He avoided the brain damage. Spin around. Discus forearm. Damage goes down. The dog for the cover. One. Kick out just before the one by Damage. Not enough to keep him down. The dog runs in. Damage spins under the arm. Turns into a neck breaker. Oh my god. The dog trying to get fighting, trying to get momentum, but Damage turns it around. Look at the Samuel suplex, and he slams him down. Heavy force, it's over. 1, 2, 3. No, the dog kicked out on 2.9. The dog showing resiliency. Damage is not looking happy. Damage is not looking happy. A shoulder block to the ribs there. And another one. The dog desecrated, decimated, demolished. And now Damage onto the second rope. Look at this tornado DDT. Spike in the skull. Spike in the skull. It's over. 1, 2, 3. The dog kicked out again. The dog freaking kicked out again. He is digging down so deep for these fans. He's trying to get up to his feet. He's staying. Look at that hook there from Damage. Absolutely vicious. The dog again trying to get up to his feet. Another shot to the side of the head. Damage just not taking any of this. He's not happy. European uppercut. Just demolishing the dog. Just taking him for a walk and just demolishing him. Irish whip into the corner. This is not looking good. Damage runs in. Goes for a knee. The dog moves out the way. The dog with a side headlock. Look at this. Draws him in and slams Damage's face onto the bottom rope. The dog uppercut. The dog is fighting back. He's fighting back. Irish whip. Bounces Damage off the rope. The dog holds on. He takes Damage down. He takes Damage down. The dog now again. Irish whip off the ropes. What's he got in mind? Another clothesline. The fans on their feet for the dog. He's giving it everything. He's giving it everything. He goes behind Damage. Backdrop from the dog. He's fighting the number one contender. Look at him dancing. Look at him dancing in the middle. Damage a drop kick in the chest. Oh my god. The dog's down full. He danced in front of Damage. Damage went to grab him. The dog punched him. The dog is fighting back. The dog. Flip over DDT. Float over DDT. This could be over. Pin him. Pin him. Wait. Woof, woof, splash. Woof, woof, splash. This is over. The dog for the cover. What an upset. 1, 2, and a kick out on 2 by Damage. Not enough to keep him down. The dog tries to punch Damage. Damage pushes his arm away. Look at there's a kick to the ribs from Damage. You can tell he's pissed off. He's not even looking tired. Drop kick in the chest. Oh my god, the dog up to his feet. Drop kick in the face. The dog trying to get up to his feet. Damage under the arm. Turns him around. Neck breaker inside out. Demolishing the dog. He picks the dog up. Look at this. He puts the dog up. Collateral damage. Collateral damage, and he nails it in the center of the ring. This is not a good place for the dog. And Damage is torning him up. Come on, dog. Find a way out of this. Find a way out of this. No, it's not looking good. The arm is hooked. He's locked it in. Damage lifts him up. Hoists him up. Brain damage. Dropping the dog on his skull. Lights out. Game over. 1, 2, 3, and Damage gets the victory here tonight on Aftershock. The number one contender, showing how dominant he can be. And you know, he has got revenge on the dog for saying that he wanted to face Damage on Shockwave last week to Luke Moynes, and Damage just showed him what would have happened if Damage had got at that match. You know, Damage just, he's on fire lately. He's the number one contender, and he's heading in to pay-per-view, you know, most arguably, to face Luke Moynes. The question is, what match will he choose? He has the choice. I'm really looking forward to finding out. You know, I'm really looking forward to our Meltdown pay-per-view. It's going to be a great show. I'm really excited about it. And now Damage is always, what the hell, man? Come on, Damage, take your eyes off him. The dog's trying to get up to his feet. Damage, he locks the arm again. Not like this, Damage, please. Not like this. Brain damage again. Oh my god. Just leaving a message for the dog. Damage just showing what he is about. And he's leaving the ring now. The fans are booing. The fans are booing Damage. Look at him. But Damage does not care. And the dog is left almost paralyzed in the ring. Brutalized. The referee checking on him. Double brain damage. That's a sad way to go for the dog. You know, the dog gave it his all. You gotta give him that. But Damage leaves victorious. We're backstage here. Yashi, Tobias Upson. And Yashi says, Tobias Upson, after retaining your title against Havok tonight, You're sitting on 8 individual title defenses. That is very impressive work. If you can retain the title twice more, you will have 10 title defenses, and you will be able to submit the title and become the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. That is big for Upson, that is big. And Yashi says, do you think you will reach 10 defenses? And if so, will you cash the title in? You know, it's a big question for this guy. And Upson says, Yashi, I'm extremely chuffed that I have 8 title defenses. I've had, some really hard matches since winning this title, but I've always gone out there and I've done my best. And now, I'm starting to see the end of this tunnel. If I can get 2 more defenses, just 2 more, I can cash this in for a world title shot, and that is a surreal feeling to me, Yashi. The thought of being the world championship is something that I have thought long and hard about. And I think if I do get 10 defense, and I didn't cash this title in for a world title shot, then I would always look back and wonder why I never took that opportunity. So I've told myself now that if I do get 10 defenses, then I will cash this title in. And if I lose to the world champion, so be it, no regrets. I can go out there and say that I've done it. I will be able to go out there and I will do what I always wanted to do. And that is go out and give the fans everything that I have. I cannot ask for anything more. Thanks for this interview, Yashi. But I'm going to have to cut it short because I want to go and watch the main event. I want to go see Steve Connor's final match. And Yashi says, of course, thank you very much, Tobias Upson. Tobias Upson, he's hot property at the moment. Ever since he won that title at Absolution, he's had a great run with it. And we're going to have a little look at his title defenses here. He's on 8 defends. Insano, Inferno, Shane Robinson, Inferno, Malice, Penance, Dave Crater, Havok. That's an impressive list of 8 wrestlers that he has beaten. 2 more, and he can cash it in. I want him to do it. I want to see Upson do it. It's the ultimate underdog story, and I'd love to see it happen. We're going backstage here. A-Bomb. And A-Bomb says, so at Meltdown, it's me and it's Mike Jacobs versus Nightmare and Dr. Khan. Nightmare and Dr. Khan just wrote their own death warrants signing that match. Nightmare and Khan, don't get me wrong, they are good wrestlers. But can they trust each other? That's what they need to be thinking about. There's a lot of history there. Let's be honest, Nightmare's never been trustworthy. He's never been someone you want on your team. Whereas me and Mike Jacobs, we're on the same page. We've been calculating attacks on Nightmare and Khan with precision for the last few weeks, and we've come out on top every single time. And that cohesiveness will carry over to Meltdown. So mark my words, Nightmare and Dr. Khan. Mark my words. You guys are done for. A-Bomb leaving a message there for Nightmare and Dr. Khan. I think A-Bomb and Mike Jacobs could be a great team. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Rudely interrupted again by a Munger trailer. He is coming up Meltdown. I'm looking forward to seeing what this guy can bring to the table. We're going backstage here. Dave Crater. And Dave Crater says, before the main event starts, I'd like to say a few words. Steve, you've been like a father to me for a long, long time. I known something was up for a long time, and I wish it didn't have to be like this. But all I have to say is that I have all the respect in the world for you, and I know that you have to quit for your own well-being, for your own good. So tonight, I know that you will go out there one last time, face the best that the XWF currently has to offer, Luke Loins, and you two will put on a match worthy of being your last match. So thank you, Steve, and I say that not from me, but I say that from all of the EFET fans, be it EWA, CWA, XWF, whatever. You paved the way for a generation. Dave Crater there, very emotional speech, he almost tears in his eyes. But ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to this main event of epic proportions. Steve Connor making his way down to the ring to a thank you Steve chant from the fans. I can feel the emotion from these fans, some of the most passionate fans in the world, giving Steve Connor a final send-off here tonight on Aftershock. It's going to be a big match, ladies and gentlemen. I know Steve Connor, you can see it in his limping, you can see it in his back that he's not the man that he once was. You can see it in his eyes that he knows this is his final match and he's going to give it all. Tears there, he's crying again on the way down to the ring, and he keeps wiping his face, wiping away the tears. That is the eyes and the emotions of a man that loves this business, that loves this industry, that loves what he does, and knows that it all has to come to an end here tonight on Aftershock. Thank you, Steve chant, still filling the arena, and look at that, a massive standing ovation for this veteran in the form of Steve Connor. You gotta give it to Luke Loins, the World Heavyweight Champion, representing the XWF. And he comes down and he says, Steve, this is your final match. I'm going to put this title on the line here on Aftershock, here tonight against you. You're not the number one contender. You haven't won any matches to give you the credibility to win this title. You haven't won a tournament. No, you deserve this for what you have done for this industry. And we are going to put on a match for the fans. And Luke Loins, that is why he's a fighting champion. That is why he's a respectable man in the locker room. And that is why, here tonight, he is going to blow the roof off this place, along with Steve Connor. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm bending up a bit here, guys. I got tears in my eyes for this. Steve Connor, he's been in wrestling for as long as I've been watching the freaking shows. For as long as I've been doing commentating, Steve Connor's been a landmark guy in this industry. And I know that he hasn't necessarily had the best run here in the XWF. But like he said earlier, he's been very limited due to injury, due to the stress of his spine. But here tonight, we're going to go all out in the main event. Look at these two men. Locking horns. Who is the stronger man? Who's the better technician? And Steve Connor wins with a tie-up, but Luke Loins draws him back in, trying to go toe-to-toe with a veteran of mat wrestling in the form of grapple holds. And Luke Loins finds his way out, reversed into a snap mirror by Steve Connor. Steve Connor gets the upper hand. Irish whip, draws him in. Luke Loins jawbreaker. Great move there from the World Heavyweight Champion, going toe-to-toe with this legend of the ring. Off the ropes, Luke Loins leapfrogs over. Drop kick in the chest cavity. Missile, torpedo style for the cover. One, and a kick out on one by Steve Connor. Not enough to keep this man down. Connor's trying to get up to his feet. Luke Loins a shot to the face. Side headlock, European uppercut from the World Heavyweight Champion. Side headlock, European uppercut again. Fighting Steve Connor into the corner. Connor reverses the tables. Luke knocks Luke Loins into the cover. Shoulder block, and a second one into the ribs there. Steve Connor now grabbing the arm, using his own body weight for the Irish whip into the corner. Steve Connor runs in on a massive running shoulder block, running down into a knee shot to the forehead of Luke Loins. The World Heavyweight Champion trying to get up to his feet. Side headlock. Steve Connor, textbook scoop slam there. Beautiful precision for the cover. One, and a kick out on one by Luke Loins. High octane action from these two men. Going for a punch. Luke Loins blocks it and punch back. Side headlock. What's he got in mind? Look at this. Throws the arm of Steve Connor over. Lifted him up. Look at that strength in Luke Loins. Look at that strength. Suplex. Stalling style. Steve Connor up to his feet. Luke Loins runs in and slams his knee onto his head. Coconut crush style. Steve Connor's trying to get up to his feet, reverses the Irish whip attempt from Luke Loins' short arm clothesline. Steve Connor grabbing the head, smash, smash, smashing his head against the mat, trying to concuss Luke Loins, trying to wear him down first. This match goes on. Twisting the arm. Steve Connor taking this fight to the World Heavyweight Champion, but Luke Loins reverses it around into a side headlock. Connor pushes him away. Connor dives in for a grapple, but Luke Loins locking horns. Who's the stronger man? Side headlock from Luke Loins. European uppercut. Luke Loins showing great resiliency and great grapple skills here against a veteran of this industry. Irish whip here, bouncing Steve Connor over the top rope. Luke Loins goes to grab him. Steve Connor pushes him away. Forearm smash. Steve Connor onto the top rope. Once he got him on, Luke Loins runs and drop kicks him from the top rope. Steve Connor into a sit-down position. Luke Loins moves his legs to the outside of the ropes. Luke Loins, look at this. Luke Loins, Connor from the top rope. Oh my God. Driving Steve Connor down with great force. This is as good as over in my eyes. That's one. That's two. And a kick out on two by Steve Connor. Great resiliency, showing, his endurance in his final match here in the XWF. Luke Loins picks him up to his feet. Luke Loins is not going to go easy on this guy. He's going to take the fight to him like no other. A clothesline in the corner, followed up by a bulldog. Luke Loins springboard cross body splash onto the grounded Steve Connor. Leg hook 1, 2, 3, a kick out on 2.5 by Steve Connor. The World Heavyweight Champion, Luke Loins, showing exactly what he's made of, exactly what he's got with a European uppercut. And another one, taking this fight to Steve Connor, reverses the Irish whip, draws him in, scissor sweep there from Steve Connor. Maybe the move that he needed to turn the momentum in his favor. Beautiful backdrop, high angle style, driving Luke Loins into the mat. Luke Loins up to his feet, side headlock from Steve Connor. Drops and slams the face of Luke Loins into the mat. Elbow to the back of Luke Loins' head as he's trying to get up. Elbow to the kidneys as he's trying to get up. Steve Connor getting in the mood, getting in the swing of things here tonight. Look at this. Grounded jawbreaker, knee style, landing on his knees and driving his head into the jaw of Luke Loins. Now just caking these elbows into the shoulder of Luke Loins, building up the lactic acid in his shoulder blades. Exactly what he needs to do. Irish whip into the corner. Luke Loins facing the turnbuckle as Steve Connor clubs against the back and lower kidney, and again with a forearm turns Luke Loins around. Shoulder block to the ribs. This is technicality. Wait a minute. Luke Loins moves Steve Connor into the corner. A knee to the stomach, rolls him out of the corner. Luke Loins onto that second rope, up to the fans, second rope elbow drop into the chest cavity, enough to hollow your freaking rib cage. 1, 2, 3, a kick out on 2.8 there by Steve Connor. Not enough to keep him down. But Luke Loins patting his chest, turning him up for a to hell and back. This could be over if he nails it. Steve Connor, forearm smash, runs in, double axe handle, knocking Luke Loins off his feet. He picks him up, Oklahoma slam, driving him into the mat. The fans going crazy for Steve Connor. The fans going crazy. Look at this. Throws the arm over, snap suplex from Steve Connor. You know that you're over. You know that the fans are behind you when you're getting cheered against the World Heavyweight Champion. Not that the fans aren't behind Luke Loins. Not that the fans don't respect Luke Loins, but that the fans respect that this is Steve Connor's final match, that he is injured, and that he is in the ring, giving it everything that he has got, and going one-on-one with the World Heavyweight Champion. Steve Connor locking in this reverse chin lock, just pulling and stretching his chin, his neck, and his lower back against the knee of Steve Connor. Can you imagine if Luke Loins was to submit here tonight on Aftershock? Can you imagine if he was to lose the title, but Luke Loins picks his way out of the lock with a headbutt, goes for a kick, Steve Connor blocks it on a clothesline. Steve Connor watching every step that Luke Loins makes for the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out on 2 by the World Heavyweight Champion. Luke Loins was in control of this match early on, but Steve Connor is taking the fight to him like no other. Irish whip into the corner. While Steve Connor got him on, he runs in, goes for a shoulder block. Luke Loins moves out the way. Here we go, steps up onto the second rope, drops down with a drop kick in the chest cavity of Steve Connor. Turning the tides of this match. Luke Loins could have this in the bag now. Beautifully executed drop kick to the chest. 1, 2, 3, Steve Connor kicks out on 2.8. 2.8. Such a close match here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Main event caliber as Luke Loins tore Steve Connor up for to hell and back. This could be over if he nails it. Steve Connor dips under. Steve Connor ducks under. Locks the arms. Dragon suplex. Extreme dragon suplex. The signature maneuver of Steve Connor. This could be it. No champion. 1, 2, 3. No, Luke Loins kicks out on 2.5. Not enough to keep the World Heavyweight Champion down, but Steve Connor, he's locked his arms up, he's turning him up for a serpent strike. Luke Loins with a clothesline. Steve Connor out to his feet, another clothesline from Luke Loins. Steve Connor goes for a clothesline. Luke Loins power slamming him down to the mat, power slamming him back. And Luke Loins, he lines him up for it. The signature knee drop, drives it into the face of Steve Connor. This could be over. Luke Loins turning him up now for to hell and back. Steve Connor, he's just grabbed him. Steve Connor onto the serpent strike. The finisher maneuver. No champion. 1, 2, 3. Luke Loins kicks out on 2.8 again. Oh my God, incredible match from these two men. Look at Steve Connor, so close. What does he got to do? He picks Luke Loins up to his feet. Steve Connor turning Luke Loins inside out, dropping him down with a neck breaker. with precision. Steve Connor knows he's got to do something big. Steve Connor is putting it all on the line. He's climbing to the top rope. Steve Connor elbow drop. Luke Lloyd's rolled out the way. Luke Lloyd's drops out the way. Steve Connor holding his ribs. Luke Lloyd's jumps up into the shoulders. Hurricane Runner. Oh my God. Steve Connor put it all on the line. He put it all on the line. And it didn't work. And now Luke Lloyd's is taking the momentum shift in his favor. The paradigm shift in his favor. Drop kick in the face. Knocking Steve Connor down with so much force, so much momentum. Luke Lloyd picks him up, and Steve Connor, he's fighting back. Double axe handle, and a second one. Oklahoma slam. Luke Lloyd fights his way out of it. He fights his way out of it. Look at this. He slid out from like a slippery slide, and he turns it into a backdrop power slam. Hoisted him up and slammed him down. Clothesline from Luke Lloyd, and another one beheading Steve Connor. Steve Connor, DDT, reversing it. Reversing the momentum, and now he's turning Luke Lloyd up for a serpent strike. This could be over. Luke Lloyd goes for an Irish whip. Steve Connor reverses it. Luke Lloyd springboard crossbody from the corner, driving Steve Connor into the mat. And now Luke Lloyd is saying, get up to your feet. Get up to your feet. Steve Connor, dazed, confused from that crossbody. He turns around, Luke Lloyd onto the arm, to hell and back, and he plants him down with full force. He plants him down with full force. The leg is hooked. 1, 2, 3. Luke Lloyd defeats Steve Connor here tonight on Aftershock in the final match of Steve Connor's career. And Luke Lloyd is victorious. He retains the World Heavyweight Championship. What a match. What a showcase. Both men put everything they had on the line here tonight in what is arguably the greatest main event in Aftershock history. And Steve Connor celebrating with Luke Lloyd there. They hugged it out, and they celebrate in the ring. We have witnessed something special here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Connor celebrating with the World Heavyweight Champion Luke Lloyd. What a moment, what a match. You know, you cannot fault that. You cannot fault that. And Luke Lloyd is leaving with the World Heavyweight Championship as Steve Connor is standing in the ring, and Mike Jacobs coming out on the stage here, and he is walking down to the ring. He is walking down as Luke Lloyd is walking up. These two men staring off, and Mike Jacobs moves out the way. He watches Luke Lloyd as he leaves, and Mike Jacobs walking down to the ring. You know, Steve Connor clapping. The fans have got a thank you Steve chant going on. And Mike Jacobs is getting in the ring here with his tag team partner, a man that he has wrestled with for years, and he is pouring in the holding the arms of Steve Connor, and Dave Crater on the stage as well, clapping. Dave Crater on the stage, clapping for this man. Steve Connor, a man that trained Dave Crater from a very young age. You know, Steve Connor and Mike Jacobs in the ring. Dave Crater on the stage clapping, the fans chanting, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. And I want to say from the XWF, I want to say from me and from the fans, thank you, Steve, as well. You know, what we are witnessing here is 3 guys that have so much love for each other in this industry, showing their final respects as Steve Connor's final match here in the XWF. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's a sad day, but I think we've all experienced something special here tonight in Aftershock. We had some great matches. That main event, you know, personally one of my favorite matches ever in Aftershock history. And I know that as all the fans are happy, you know, there's not a dry eye in the house. Steve Connor's final match, you know. So much respect for that guy, for all that he's done for the industry. And from the XWF, we want to say thank you, Steve Connor. 2000 to 2014, this guy has put everything he had on the line. Thank you, Steve Connor. Thank you for everything you've done, man. Respect to you from the bear, respect to you from the fans. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to this special edition of Aftershock. I've had a great show. I hope you guys have had too. Tune in next show for our final episode of Shockwave before we head into pay-per-view Meltdown. Peace out on the bear. Thank you.